So going further in that line, so recently we have seen Department of External Research Relations of Moscow Patriarchate giving emphasis and giving a reboost to the relations with the Oriental Orthodox family of churches. Particularly, we are much happy to see those activities that you are doing with the Ethiopian church. We are mentioning it away from Coptic and Indian church because we are having a great number of viewers from Ethiopia too. So they are really mesmerized with the what the Russian church is doing with Ethiopian church too. So in general, as we see the same. What's your thoughts about the same? Like these, as you mentioned, we need more interconnectivity through frequent visits and frequent sharing of the spiritual and cultural heritage of these historical rich places like that of India, Egypt, Ethiopia, or wherever it is, even Armenia too. So, what's your general thoughts about this reboost of relations that's currently seen throughout the world uh, to towards Russian Orthodox Church and the Oriental families? What's your general thoughts about the same, and what do you think? What will be its result in future? Like we are an organization, we work for having a better people-to-people connectivity between both the families. Do you really believe that this will be the people-to-people connectivity and much more much more understanding will be seen in future time between all these families of Orthodox Christianity?
You know, I will maybe say you a secret or not. I don't know. There are some people who are saying that look at the Russian Orthodox Church, who, after our disagreements and let's say kindly conflict with the Church of Constantinople and with conflict with few other Orthodox Greek-speaking churches, because they have recognized the schismatic church in Ukraine, and this is not the only reason, I think. After this conflict, the Russian Orthodox Church is trying now to make friends in the Oriental world. And for those people, they are saying that that is the main reason. So we are losing friends in our family. We're trying to find other friends in the other family.
I really believe that those type of comments are coming from the people who don't know
Now
about the historical
I will now,
connections. That's why I
yeah,
use the
but
word
now
reboot.
I will now continue. That's only the first part of what I wanted to say. So, but we, from our side, we are saying that those people, they are wrong. They are lying. Why? Because our reboost, as you have mentioned, with the Coptic Church, with the Malankara Orthodox Syrian Church, with Ethiopian Church, with Assyrian Church of the East, Syrian Church, Armenians. We have a long story, you know, with the long relations with Armenians who was part of the Soviet Union. So those relations and those reboosts, they are started quite a long time before the situation in Ukraine and before our conflict with the Patriarchate of Constantinople. So that is what I wanted to say, is that it is not the conflict with the Greek churches is not the reason why we are reboosting our relations. It was started long before. Why it started? Because we felt that we have, first of all, we have the same faith. Yes, the traditions are different. In ecclesiology, in some theological points, they are different. But the problem is when you are asking a very, very, I mean, academic, even priest or theologian, what is now the difference between, for example, Russian Orthodox Church and Ethiopian Church? I mean, they're teaching about Christ, about Holy Trinity. He can say, yes, they are monophysites or something like that. But actually, the answer is that we don't know. Why we don't know? Because we are not communicating properly. We are not having theological conferences, theological dialogue. It is absent. We don't have it a long time. And from our side, from the side of the Russian Orthodox Church, we are believing that we have to communicate. We have to learn each other better because we have the same faith. We have the same spirituality, as I said it many times before. And because considering at least the Oriental churches, we have a very long relations, not between the churches, but also between the countries. For example, India, Ethiopia, we never had conflicts with those, even between Russia or Soviet Union or Russian Empire and those countries. You see, so even on the level of the people, the governments, countries, we have a very rich past of relations, a history of relations. Sorry, and this reboost is also helping us to, first of all, to be united. Considering the defending of the traditional values. So everything what is called in matter of sexuality, in matter of the family, in matter of the spirituality, we have to be now in this world, we have to be united. Because if we are speaking about that apartly, it will not be so strong if we will say it in one voice together, unified as Christians, or as Orthodox Christians. And also, this reboost, and it has showed, and I know that OCP played a role in this sphere, is the protection of the protection of the persecuted Christians, because we know that the relations together with those countries, with those churches, it helped many to protect the Christian. Especially, I'm speaking about countries where the Christians are really persecuted. You mentioned Ethiopia. About the conflict with the schismatic organizations in Ethiopia that has been not so long time ago. When they had the conflict, you know that there was official delegations of the Ethiopian Tawahid, the Orthodox Church, that has visited Russia, visited the Russian Orthodox Church, and we had a dialogue with them. And when they will also a pilgrimage was also included in this visit. And I remember Bishop Abuna Philippos, who prayed in front of the icons, in front of the martyrs of our church. And then suddenly one of the priests, he received a call that the conflict is resolved. And I remember their faces, how they were enlightened, that they are now in Russia. They prayed, they made diplomatical work, and by the mercy of God, the conflict at that time was resolved. We don't, of course, we can only guess if this resolving of this conflict is linked with the Russian Orthodox Church of Russia. I don't know, but at least those relations, they are helping to support not only on from the diplomatical, political point of view, but from point of view. You know, when the situation in with Ukraine started, our patriarch received a lot of critics. You know, it's not a secret about his what he said, what he did, what he didn't did. A lot of critics from everywhere, from many primates of the church, from bishops, from priests, etc., etc. Especially those people, they were representatives of the churches in Europe and America, of course, United States. And what is important for us is that during that time, no one primate from the Oriental churches didn't say something against him. As brothers, as primates of the Orthodox churches, they only wrote a support, that they are supporting our church and supporting His Holiness, because unfortunately not many people knows, but what is happening in Ukraine is a personal pain for our patriarch. It is not a conflict between two civilizations, two churches. It is drama and sorrow inside one church, inside one people, who is coming from the one who is coming from the one baptism. Yes, baptism, from the one baptism. And of course, the reboost also of those relations is showing us that those relations have a very, very fruitful future. At least we are now at some point we can say that we are started. We started those relations. They are not even in the middle, and a lot of things they have been already done. As I said, about the movie, about the monastic traditions, about different social points and humanitarian aid. What I said, the protection of the persecuted, defense of the persecuted Christians. But now also we are now trying from our side to establish so-called theological consultations between with few of the Oriental churches. Those consultations, they're including a dialogue and discussions in matter of Christology and Trinitarian and ecclesiological teachings. Because from our side, we want to really know how those churches, they believing not, so to not reading, to not learn it from books, but we wanted we want to know the actual situation in the matter of theology, and that this is the same point in the Oriental churches. We had the representative of the Coptic Church and the Malankara Orthodox Church. I know they asked us the translation of books, to send the articles, to translate some theological articles, books, to know how it is now. Because how can we cannot only, we cannot only work in matter of humanitarian work, projects like movies, pilgrimages, and at that point we say, now it's enough. No, there is a point when we have to try to come, and of course it is the possibility to destroy this wall of misunderstandings. First of all, not disagreements, I would say, but the first wall that is separating us is the wall of unknown, of the misunderstandings.
Yes.
Of course, there, though the differences are for few groups, I don't like to take their name, for few groups, even in the difference in the policies and the thoughts makes them to a bigger war. And for some,
Yeah,
like the people who really points towards the positivity, they think that differences are something that leads to further unity. So that's the main difference. And what to do, the world is like this and it's chaotic, and the bright future we all see in front of us, that's our dream. That's our dream. And we, as once an English poet said, all dreams are something that we have to capture at least. Dreams to go, miles to go. But we really think that these unity and this prosperity in whole Orthodox world can be seen as soon as possible than having as many number of chaos and as many number of conflicts. Yeah, of course. Talking about him leads us to deep memories about him.
yeah,
Particularly with his sudden demise, we really missed his charmful smile that he used to keep in all of his possible fields wherever he was dealing with, whether it is hard topics or the soft topics. He used to deal it in a greater way, and his memories and his efforts to restart all these inter-church relations is really something that will be written in the golden with the golden letters in the books of history. And let his prayer be there with all of us for future future programs and future projects that's taken by both the churches. And like His Holiness the Paul II, we also have so many martyrs and saints who still uh, uh, I'm really sure that their blessings are there with all these churches for their better connectivity, better relations, and of all these the remarkable role that's played by Russian Church, and particularly by His Holiness Patriarch Kirill of Moscow and all Russia, is something that should be recognized. Where in a world where we see negativity or negative news make more popularity than that of positive sense. And with this, we like to conclude this particular episode of Pan-Orthodox Roundtable. We are so thankful for Hierodeacon Peter for finding for finding some time for us in between his busy schedule, his prayers, and all his duties with the Moscow Patriarchate External Church Relations Department. And we are really thankful. Thank you once again. And we really believe that this episode was useful for you. See you again with another episode. Wherever you are, this is OCP signing out.